high-speed drifter is a bit noisy, so I'm going to be shouting on the way out. Just a bit of general fishing to see what I can catch. Do you know what? I mean, with sea fishing in the UK, let's move that lead out of the way for you, I think it's getting harder and harder and harder. It seems like one boat catches a load of fish and 8 or 10 just have average to mediocre to poor fishing. It's just the way it is in the UK. It just seems harder over the years, even for me, knowing where to go and what to catch. So I just got the old girl out of mothballs. I'm just going to go out to sea. The weather looks set fair. Some of the boats are out there in competition. There'll be a lot of fishing boats out there, I dare say. Obviously I'm going to try and keep away from them. I like to be in my own little space. But look at the setting here. I mean, anybody who's a boat owner, except a yachtsman, they hate flat calms. No wind, no sails, no travel. So we're out here. I'm probably going to target some big fish. I just put a light rod out in case and just sort of play it by ear and see what's happening. I've got spinning reels as well. I'm going to be using those, maybe get black bream, something like that. And then I've got some dead powder and they're extremely dead. I can't tell you how dead they are. They've been in there about over a year, I think, in the freezer. So Lord knows what state they're going to come out in. Once I get out the entrance, I can zip along a bit faster. Main thing is, arrive alive. You know, people want to go fast in boats, don't they? Everybody wants to go fast. Now, all I say is, I just run on this dashboard, Lowrance dashboard one. It can give me depth, distance, destination, speed over ground, so I can tap that up. And you can see it going up there. There we go. 9 o'clock, early start again for Graeme. I was lucky to actually get off the slip today. It was weird. I just got all the tides wrong yet again. I think they're sort of mid-tides. I don't think they're giant spring tides. I think they're mid-tides. So fingers crossed, look. Fingers crossed we get to see something out here, hopefully. And I've got a different bait, guys. I'm going to be trying some slugs from the garden. They killed my lettuces, my tomatoes, and they have paid a very sorry price for it. Whether anything's going to eat them or not, I don't know. Well, guys, I think it's looking too flat and too nice out there not to want to put the hammer down. Now, people ask me sometimes about travelling speeds on the boat, and to be honest, I don't really want to go fast. I don't really want to do 35 knots because I want to see what I'm going to hit, if I'm going to hit anything at all. And don't forget, there's no brakes on a boat. So what I do is I generally run it up to about 36, 37 on the rev counter here, down here. Come up on the trim, which is down here. Trim up the engine. Trim the engine up, get it planing right, and I should, in the conditions like this, get about 15, 16 knots. Let's see what we can do. Now the idea is I can get up, come back on the throttle a bit, say 37, 38 down here, and then I'm going to trim it, and I'm doing 17 there. If I trim it up, the engine pitch changes. I put 2.5 knots by just trimming the boat up. That means I can come right back on my gas and I can still get 17, 18 knots. So just that's what you have the trim for, is just adjusting the trim, and work with your rev counter here. Listen, I'm no boat expert. I just like to save my fuel. Have you seen the shocking cost of it? It's unbelievable. Oh, what a day. So there I'm on 34, I'm doing 14.6, one up with all this gear, weight and everything in there. So I just tap the throttle like this. It just creeps up a few revs and I can go up to about 15, 16 knots, which is fine. So next will be the destination.
Freshwater ILB, this is Coast Guard. Good morning, sir. You're loaded to channel 16, go channel 0, stand by, over.
Well, I'm about 4.5 miles offshore, and I am in, what am I in? I'm about 36 to 40 feet of water. Switch that off, say power. Money saved is money earned. And here's how I'm going to rig up. Still can't get those baits down fast enough. It's absolutely ludicrous at my age and with what I catch nowadays. Is it worth it? But they've still got that burning enthusiasm. This is a huge pouting of dubious design. I got it on my £50, well, it's not 50, actually it's a 30. I got it on a sliding boom. I'm just going to try that old mince pie lead mould. I'm going to hook it once. Should sharpen the hook, you know, really. I can't be bothered to get it down. I'll just go through the jaws once. It's going to be a brave fish that eats this, I can tell you. Another small boat there. Quite a lot of boats out today, you can't blame them. I'm just going to try this. Now, if it doesn't hold bottom, you go to a bigger lead. So I'm trying to get away with what lead I can at the moment. Nobody likes hauling up great big 2-pound leads. There's a nice tide flow, got flood tide, the water's clear. Well, shame there's no mackerel about. As always, oh, I've got the bottom there. I just lift it and bounce it back a bit. Always put the click on. You don't have to, but I'm fishing alone today, so if I'm messing about filming up the front or somewhere, it's handy just having that clicker on. Second one, can't get it out quick enough. Come on, let's try this one. Got a big selection. This one's got braid on it, so that will take a bit less line, a bit less weight, sorry. And I'm going to tie probably a buffer on there, just a piece of shock leader. So if I do get snagged in the bottom, because this little area here is flagged as rough ground by my good trusted friend Wayne. How rough, I don't know. I'll send him the bill when I lose my anchor. He actually lost an anchor, I think recently. Got it wrapped up. Listen, it's going to happen sooner or later. I've lost them, I've had to cut them off sometimes. Shocking waste. Let's put the lid on that to keep your bait cool, guys. Keep it cool. Not like me. So what I've got, just so you know, I've got, let's turn it this way, braid. I've got a surgeon's loop there, and then I've got a doubled loop here. See, I've doubled this braid here, which is, I want to say it's 40. And then I've used an Albright special knot here. It's in our section. We've got a couple of films up on knots if you want to look them up. Albright there, and that goes onto about, guys, it's so noisy in this Solent area. Then I've got some 40-pound mono. So
This is Coast Guard, you're loud and clear, channel 16, over.
He's certainly loud and clear, isn't he? So I got my 40-pound mono down here, about say 12-15 feet. A small boom here for the lead, small swivel, and then my trace and the hook there, which won't be a big bait. This has got a lot of weed pouring through, so I feel when it's ticking out like this, I'm going to get weed on the line. I'm going to give it a pull. I can feel it. Drop it back, it stops, put it in gear. Might have to go to a heavier lead on that one, guys. Right, what goodies have I got in here? Do I do a chunk of bait or do a chunk of squid, piece of fish? Still ticking. Just put it up a bit, that'll stop all that racket on it. What else? This is an absolute freezer clear out. I've got some to use for chum and some that I possibly don't even want to touch. Something's nasty in there. That is something very nasty. What is that? That's a piece of bluey. That's going out. I've had a real freezer clear out, guys. I don't feel the fish are too fussy. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they want leads. Who's stolen the leads? Sometimes they want fresh baits, but they're very unlikely to get it on high sea drifter. There's nothing better than catching a fish on a manky old bait all you've used before. There we go, let's drop this one down. Once I get these two out, I can slow up. I just like to get a couple of baits in the water. I tell you guys, it's certainly a day for filming. I don't know about fishing. Might be tough near the shipping channel here. I'm outside the markers. Always keep your thumb on the spool, because it's all about beginners, novices, people just coming back into it. Keep your thumb on the spool. There's a cuttlefish carcass going past there. That's interesting, because 2 weeks ago the fishing was bad because the cuttlefish were here, so maybe they finished spawning now. I lift it, let a bit of line, and just bump it down like this. Just keep bumping back till it won't bump anymore. Don't just let it go down loose, because it will backlash. Again, I check the drag. That's your fighting drag if you hook a fish. I'm hoping the weed's not going to be too much of a problem. Now then, the other thing I want to do is chuck a couple of rods out here and try uptide him, see if I can't pick a smooth hound up. Right, rod number 53. A very, very ancient, whatever it is. For those tackle tarts amongst you, it's a, I don't know, it's a Marker Precision Daiwa 400X. It's about 40 years old, probably the line's 30. But this one, look, I've got a running ledger, exactly the same. Except this time I've got the grip lid there. And for those of you who don't know, you cast the grip lid out, it snags in the bottom, it doesn't snag, it grips, and then when you pull in, these trip free, like that. They just pull free, so they come through the sand easily. Now, I could lose this very, very easily, but if you cast across the tide, slightly down actually across the tide, I think I'm probably going to get weed and won't be able to use it, but I've got to try it. Everything about fishing is always trying, and you make adapting changes. It's a 9-foot spinning rod, and on this I'm going to put a straight half section of squid like that. I could elasticate it on, you know, to help it stay streamlined in the current, but for the moment, till I see what on earth is going on with this weed situation, I'm just going to hook it on like that, and it's going out there. I feel, you can see these rafts of weed going past here now. They're not good. They build up on the line, and then what happens is they trip out the lead. Now, for the benefit of those who do uptiding, you can see I've got quite a long drop to the trace there. So the way around that, take the hook. It's always hard filming and fishing at the same time. And see the bend of the hook, just hang it onto one of the spikes. That halves the length of the trace, keeps it nice and neat. Never cast inside the boat, even on your own boat, because you could tear some electrics or something like that and you don't get home. Keep the lead and the bait outside of the boat, and then cast across the tide. Out we go, it's fallen free, hits the surface, and then I just let it go down, feathering it. I don't want it going down so fast it spins. Now this is an experiment. There's quite a bit of tide cranking through, and if I get weed on this, it definitely is going to drag it right around, possibly in my other lines. Now I'm on the bottom now. I want to let a bit of a belly of line develop in there. It looks like the line's dragging down. Well, it is, because that's the tide pushing on it. Quite handy with this yellow line actually, because hopefully you people can see it. And then when it gets down so far, I close the bail arm. I don't have it too loose to drag, and I'm going to stick it in my outside rod holder there like that. Now when the fish takes the line, takes the bait, he pulls that free, you'll generally get a pull down bite, and then it might fall slack, because that belly of line is going back down tide. So you just wind down fast on them. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And this one is indeed an uptide rod. I've just made do with a spinning rod. Look, you don't have to have an uptide rod. Don't get me wrong. You can use any rod that will cast out. This one is, God, look at the varnish on that. Graeme, that's shocking. This is, it's unreadable. Oyster, system, something about the boat. Well, whatever it is, who knows, I've had it years. Got 20-pound reel line on there. The reel is called Tokushima, a Tokushima reel there. They used to have a good ratchet on them, you know, clicker. It's quite exciting. I think I've busted that. I've caught so many fish on it, I've busted it off and I haven't bothered replacing it. I work on the assumption that if it's not broke, don't mend it. It would be nice to pick a fish up today, man. The last trip I had came out with Wayne. Wait for this. 3 dogfish. 3 dogfish all day. And that's with Wayne, and he knows all the marks. Time to put the same rig on here. Okay, for my small rod, wait for this, you gotta love this one. This rod I've caught loads of fish on, including bonefish, abroad, a barracuda. It is a broken top half of a carp rod. You won't see it all, and I think I even broke the tip off it as well, put another tip ring on there. I then arrow-dried it into the broken section of another broken rod. So there's 2 broken rods, glued together, rammed in there, glued together. So I've got the winch fit in there for my reel. The reel is, I'm just gonna speak fluent Japanese, I think it is, Aishi SW550FD, made by Nomura. So it's got braid on it, I don't know, sidewinder braid probably. A 4-ounce running lead there, just a light 4-ounce running lead, but about 15-pound line with those 2, hopefully you can see, tiny strip baits, and they're on about a size 2 freshwater hook. I'm just going to drop them down. I'm going to try 1 drop down and 1 cast back and see if I can't find some small fish as well. So I've got big fish, medium fish,
Special M, Thresher.
Thresher, we all know Thresher. We know who that is, Thresher, so we're going to listen to this one.
Special M.
He's on.
Mate, you on that mark we talked about the other day?
Yeah, the secret one, Wayne.
Oh, I just dropped over to the car park and boulder. Okay, mate. Alright. Any joy so far? We just put the big down. Jude was late this morning.
He's down there.
Okay, alright then, well,
I think he's
keep you posted. Alright, pressure out. So, the radio okay, I guess? Yes, spot on, mate. Clear as a bell.
That's Wayne.
Right, catch you later.
Hopefully next train out, next train out? Am I in a station? Next trip out with Wayne will be looking for Thresher sharks. And he catches them. So I'm going to lob this one back. There's a guy stopped up there, and it's quite close inshore. They're on a ray competition today, guys. Ah, it's old Kipper. Now this guy's a good guy, Kipper.
Alright, Dick.
That's Dick, the placeman we call him. See if you can hear it.
Yeah, Kipper, Thresher.
Sounds like Wayne's getting trouble with his radio. Or it could be transmission on the other boat. Dick is a real top class place fisherman. He has unbelievable place catches and big cod catches and big everything catches, unlike me. No, he's not getting. We'll find out later on anyway. So I'm going to lob this one back and just see what we can get. There's no way 4 ounces is holding straight down, so I'm going to have to throw it away from the boat a bit. This is on a broken fishing rod. Now my uptied rod here has pulled out. Just thought I'd let you know. It's not with the fish, I feel it's with weed. Now very often if you get big baits down, I found, if you put your small baits behind where the big baits are, you know, the little fish get the smell off the big bait and they can actually come down. You can do some good fishing. I've done that quite a bit. This mark, I don't think I'm right on the mark where I should be. Right, let's stick this one in one of the many rod holders. Oh, hang on guys, I'm getting a bite. That uptied rod that I said wasn't a fish, it's weed. It could be fish. I just had a bang on it. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna crank on it. It might be a doggy, I might have missed it. Oh no, there's a fish there. Let's get this box out of the way. Could be just a doggy, who knows? My goodness, I'll tell you what, sea fishing it's just a result to catch the first fish. Because if at least you're getting bites with something, even dare I say, if it's dogfish, if they're finding the bait, you know, there could be something else out there, couldn't there? There could be anything coming along. I kind of like to get a bit of a mix of fish today. Hang on, it pulled back then. That can't be a dogfish. I wouldn't even like to say what this one is. Probably is a doggy. Probably is a doggy, but that was on a bonus rod up tide casting. And what is that? It's a spinning dogfish. I think it's a spinning dogfish, folks. Listen, first fish, it doesn't matter. He's chomped on that piece of squid. Let's not get tangled. Let's not cast the camera over, Graeme, please. We've had a few close calls. There you go, Mr. Dogfish. And he's still got that piece of squid in his mouth. So if I can just get rid of this weed, and also, let's put him over in the water. If I can just get rid of this weed situation, and make sure my baits are hard on the bottom, I could get some other fish. Well, the radio's gone quiet. It's a sure sign that other people have got the weed. Just look at it going past. It's rafts, and it's coming through in batches, which is really annoying because it's just enough cast out. So you have to keep moving your line, because if it slides down the line, it builds up, just so the beginners know. It'll push against the line like this, then it slides down to the lead, then it will get picked up by the tide and it sweeps it up. Your rod will still be under tension like this, but your bait is going to be flying up here out the reach of the fish. So just a pointer there. If you go sort, that's why I'm always constantly lifting and dropping, lifting and dropping, just to make sure that lead's absolutely on the bottom. If it's not, you won't catch. I've had a bite on this, but I think it's a doggy. I better check the bait. If you've had some bites, always check the bait. Give it a while and then check it. I think I might be stripped. I don't know, I had quite a few banging bites on that, and that was on the squid. So I'm guessing doggies. But you never know. Just, yeah, he's bitten the back off of that squid there. Down we go again. I don't let it zoom down, folks. I don't let it go racing down or stopping it with my thumb, because otherwise it spins up round your main line, you tangle, and again you catch nothing. So just thumb it lightly. I'm on the bottom there. I lift it. Boom, it stops. You'll feel it, especially with braid. You can lift the rod top like this. Bang. Did you see it drop? If it was deeper, it would keep going and going, and then you have to release line. Just dropping back all the time. Eventually the angle of the line will be so shallow. At the moment it's vertical, it's pushing this way against the line. When it's shallow, it runs down the slope of the line. It doesn't lift the lead off the seabed. So it doesn't hurt just to keep bumping that lead every now and then, just in case. I'm going to do the same with this one. At least, now that one is actually on the bottom. At least this way you can check. You'll feel the additional weight on there with weed. That's my three bigger baits. Nothing on the small hooks at all. Another fish on, guys. You know what? It's on the same rod. Isn't it weird? And I'm getting bream bites on this one. They're on the big bait, a big piece of squid, but they're banging away at it. So I'm going to have to put some small hooks. I might make a different rig up and put a stinger hook behind the big bait just to try it. I think it's a doggy. No, it's not a doggy. It could be a small smooth hound, or a taupe. My money's on a taupe. There we go. And he is a small one. But listen, it's a fish. Oh, it's a fish. There we go. That's a taupe. Very, very small one. So you're obviously going straight back, just jaw hooked. And they got little teeth in there as well. And they grow, although it's only a small one. I think the record is 80 plus, 90 pounds, something like that. And these, just so you know, they have rough skin one way, but not like the dogfish, like sandpaper. So there you go, there we go, small taupe. It's another species, and I might even get a ray or, I'm feeling they're bream bites, you know. They've been coming up on the radio, people saying, guy comes over the radio and says, anybody getting any bream out there? Excuse me, I don't think anybody's going to tell you if they are they surely? Well, let's get the baits back down and pray that that awful, awful weed stays away. A little tip you can do when you're doing the uptiding, as you cast out, the moment or second or two before the lead hits the water, stop the spool and that will send the bait flying past the lead so it doesn't go in a crumbled heap. It's just a little tip. I do it when everybody does it when they're waggler fishing in fresh water. You're sending the bait past the float. The same principle applies, I find, my method, with the lead. So just before it hits, I just stop the lead abruptly and that sends the bait flying past. I have a nibble. There we go. That's way, way down the back.
Alright, yeah, it's just, I'm getting just hopes.
It's,
Dogs here. It's a weed.
sounds like Wayne's got the weed and he's outside of me. I think that fish is... No, there might be a fish on there.
Some bait fish splattering on the surface. I don't know what they were. There weren't a lot of them, but they weren't taking the surface, whatever they were. That's alright.
Come on, fish. Come on, in you come. I'd just like to see what they are. You know what I mean? It's always nice just to see what a fish on a small hook is. On here, I was having the definite bream bites. They were way too sharp. The bream has a very, very sharp bite like this. I'm going to put stinger rigs behind this, guys. Wayne's coming in here. He's outside of us at the moment. What is that? Now, I thought that was a bream. I think that's another baby taupe. Is that a doggy or is that a taupe? It is a doggy, quite a big doggy actually for a dogfish. That's quite a fat dogfish, you know. Just taking that small hook, that is quite a fat old dogfish, that one. Anyway, there's another mark I've got from unhooking fish. So get yourself a pair of pliers. If it's deep hooked, I've got an ordinary pair of pliers and just put these tubes on them so I can make them long nose. But for this, you know, reason, I can also get hold of hooks and just pop them out as easy as you like. So there goes Mr. Dogfish. He's going to go back and he will hopefully swim straight away. There he goes. I thought that was a bream. I've got bream bites on there. I've got to try putting a stinger rig on probably both of those too. So here's the stinger rig I've made up. You know, I've used stinger rigs before in foreign countries for slow trolling when you're getting predators hitting, let's say, a marlin live bait from the back. And we use different forms of stinger rigs with treble hooks, single hooks. I can't remember ever putting it beyond a bait. I normally fish a small rod behind the big bait, but I'm going to try this way. I'll show you what I'm doing. This is purely just to try and find out what these fish are. So look, I've had to up my weights on the big baits. I've got, here's one for you, a copper tube filled with lead and a piece of coat hanger wire. And I caught so many fish like that. It just saves buying moulds and also if you lose them. So here's my big bait. I'm going to show you there. I guess it's yellow. There's my big bait. They're nibbling away at this. They're chewing their way up it. So what I've done, I've tied a length of mono just behind the barb of the hook so it doesn't slip off. About that long. Actually, it's got a kink in it. I don't want it spinning. So you can see that is going to flutter in the current here, the small hook, about 6 inches behind this one. We'll just see if we can't tag one of these fish and see and find out exactly what the culprit is. Ironically, I'm getting the bites nibbling around these big baits on my light rod up here. I'm not getting the small bites, which is sort of bizarre. It's generally the big baits here will take the smell back down tide and smaller fish will work their way up it. That's the theory, but listen, there's loads of boats around me and the radio's ominously quiet. I guess maybe people are going out deep today and getting the fish. I don't know what they're getting on the inside here. Right, so just bouncing the lead like this, bang. Hopefully you can see it, easy to see on braid. Definitely down. I'm going to put it in the holder, see if we can't find a fish. I think I'll do the same with that one as well. Let's bring him in. It's no good thinking about it. If you're going to experiment, you might as well do it on a day that's tough. You never know, it might turn everything around. I think this one might need servicing. I think it was serviced about 1988. I can't remember, so I can't grumble, can I? Same with this one. Always be careful of your big leads when you're swinging things in. Any tentacles at the back have been chewed off, so let's do the same with this rig. Fresh piece of squid on. I save all these bits, you know, because a lot of people say, well, they're washed out. Yeah, but they still make a bait. Don't forget to put the hook through the head of your squid, because it's not actually held to this body, the outside mantle. It's held to the guts, and the guts will pull out. They've got catching tentacles here. I'm going to nip those off like that. Then I'm going to put my little stinger rig over the barb of the hook, pull it tight like that, and then 2 overhand loops on top. That's just my way of experimenting. In fact, I think I go for 3, because you never know. And I take a piece of, say, this squid here. Don't want it to be too big, because they're bream. I feel they're bream bites, small black bream. Just hook on once, twice. Now you can see there, that is about 5-6 inches behind the big bait. So we just drop it down and see if, give it 10 minutes, see if anything does come of it. Very large boat over there. Luckily he's got the pilot boat with him, I think. Steering well away from me. Hopefully that weed's gone through. Yeah, I'm on the bottom. Ironic, isn't it? I put it on that one. now I'm getting no bites at all. Oh, I don't know, this funny old game, isn't it? This fishing. It's almost enough to make you want to eat all your sandwiches in one go. But what a day. That's off radios on. Well. I thought I saw a little bite on that one earlier. Make sure it's on the bottom. It'll get easier as the tide eases. I'm still going back down. As the tide eases, it should get better, and they'll be anchored down on the bottom. Hopefully. I just keep constantly checking all the time. I'm amazed this little rod hasn't gone off at the back there. Absolutely amazed. Well, there's something on this light rod cast way back. The tide's eased a bit. I've dropped one lead weight. I've got a fish on the stinger tugging away. I wonder if it's going to work. I wonder if my method's going to work. Fingers crossed, but I've got a fish on my broken cart rod top section. That squid didn't taste too good. No wonder Wayne gave it to me. I'd say this is a doggy. It's just not kicking enough for a bream. God. Hopefully I'm not going to get my other lines. There's nothing worse than tangle time. God, I didn't realise I cast it so far. I went so far, surprised I'm not going to come in with a sack of onions. Oh, it looks like it's a small dog from France. I catch it from France. I cast so far, is it? No, maybe a dogfish. Woof woof. It's a small woof woof fish. Oh, there we go, peeps. Doggy at distance, I'm calling that one. What you want to do is grab their tail, fold it round to their head like that, and then you can unhook them without getting that rough skin wrapped around your arm. Straight out. So when it's like this, it's sort of kind of frustrating, because you're pleased to be out in your own boat fishing. Obviously, it's lovely out here today, beautiful. It's like a mill pond. Sun's coming down, but you're sort of disappointed in the way that the fish aren't biting. Oh, thought that was a bite on that stinger one. So you've got to get the balance right. You're either going to enjoy the day with no fish, or you're going to enjoy the day with fish. But either way, I feel somewhere along the line, fishermen are always a bit disappointed in things. They want the good weather, great day on their own boat or on a charter boat, and a load of fish. Unfortunately, life doesn't work like that. There is a tap on that. I'm going to put this head cam on for a second anyway, guys. I just saw a tap on that one. I'm going to wheel it up anyway. Let's have a little look at this. There's definitely a tap on it. It'd be brilliant if it's, oh, it's a white, bit of white. We got colour, we got deep colour. No, it's not a bluefin tuna. I'll tell you what, I can see the squid in the water. I can see the squid, and it's a smooth hound, a baby. It's all baby fish today, but look. Oh, God, for mother line, you stupid child, Graeme. There is the proof of the pudding, guys. A small smooth hound, and it is a small smooth hound, we know that, all you smooth hound specimen hunters, but the actual technique works. Look at that. There's my stinger rig. That's what he was coming up, and you can actually see, it won't hold, I'll show you in a minute, the tentacles nipped off there, and he's just nipped at that, a small little smooth hound there on the stinger rig. Well, do you know what, that's made my day actually, because I don't think I've used that in the UK. I've used it abroad, barracudas, when you get a hard fault marlin bait that you really want to tow for a blue marlin, and you keep getting chopped off by barracudas and stuff coming behind, then you eventually get around to rigging up a stinger rig, and there he is, little baby smooth hound. They grow much larger than that. Let's get him back. Pew, like a little missile. And I know that's worked because if I hold it that way, see some of these tentacles are nipped off there where the fish have chewed them off. So brilliant. A rig that works. At least I still say some of those bites I had, oh, look at that, and the microphone lead's going over, were black bream, they were too sharp. But it just goes to show you that stinger rig down there can at least identify what the small species are. If you put a big bait down, it does at least provide you with a method to find out what's nibbling away at your big baits, and then you can simply change over and rig up the small hooks, should you so want to catch the small stuff. Me, I catch anything that's going, I have no problem. God, it's getting near sunbathing time. I put the cream on. It is bright, bright, bright. Tide's easing. I've got a chum tube down here. Might as well show you while I'm waiting. This is my bait dropper. I do a tube and I do a bait dropper. I made it out of just 4-inch waste pipe, drilled holes through it, hinged an old flap on the bottom, got some, well, that's not coat hanger wire, but wire there. So this goes on the bottom here. I tie a weight from this eye just there, hopefully you can see it. I just tie a weight on there, the weight tows it all down, I put my ground bait in here, it bounces on the bottom like this, and then what happens is, I'll show you that way, plop, it comes out and I can pull up and down and it will release all the cut up bait particles. And I intended doing it for bream, but to be honest, I don't see the point of putting it down when I'm not getting lots of bites. So that's something we might be using later in the day. A fully patented bait dropper. I've got another bite on the on a stinger line, guys. Oh, I might have my other lead as well. Jellyfish just gone past back there. Sign the water temperature's creeping up, and another jellyfish, and yes, more weed. What is this one? Well, doggy. I've had a couple of other doggies in between this one, but not on a stinger. But there you can see a dogfish on the stinger rig. So this rig absolutely works. They're coming up to nibble away at this big bait, and this one's just down tied of it. So I'm quite pleased with that, and that can identify it, even though I haven't found the black bream. A lot of boats moving now. Here on the radio, the tide's dying. It's a good time normally to try and pick up a ray, thornback, undulate, spotted. But listen, you can't make it happen, can you? You can just be in the right spot. I will move because it's been pretty quiet here. Boats all dotted back here, and I think come slack water there will be quite a few moving. I think they're like me, they're just waiting to see what slack water brings before they make the decision to move. But I'm going to go inshore I'm going to be probably trying that chum tube down there because I've got nothing to lose out here. That is a benefit. If you're in a charter boat, you don't get this option. When you've got your own small boat, or 2 or 3 of you sharing a boat, you can come to a decision. It's on the bottom. You can come to a decision to move, if you want to move, if you want to stay put, you want to change baits, you want to do this, do that. It's a freedom. It's exactly what it is. Get rid of that weed. It's just the freedom of your own space. Look at it. Looks like a bomb's hit it, doesn't it? Very, very messy. Very messy boatman. I wanted this quarter-deck one open. I didn't want a door on mine, so I can move in here. You know, in the winter or any rough weather. Well, I won't be out in rough weather. It just gives me a big void. I've got a folding chair under there in case I have a guest. This goes up the front, and I built all these little shelves and storage compartments to stop stuff rolling around, and my junk bookshelf there as well. The best thing I did was get this chair, which is extortionately expensive, American but good quality, and it is really comfortable because I can sit here just like this. I get my old Rubbermaid tackle box there, feet up. Oh yes, please. Now I can see. And I can see all my rods here, and even when I'm out shark drifting, ideal because I've got rod holders up on the bow, rod holders here, rod holders on the cabin. You know, no shortage of spaces to put my shark rods. Oh. That's a stinger. That's definitely a stinger bite. Now this, I'm hoping this is a different fish. I'm hoping this is different. Do not go any other. I've waited so long for a decent fish. I'd say this is a larger smoothhound. And I'm just hoping he's on that stinger hook. Because wouldn't that be something to show you guys? The stinger rig works. Yeah, that's no way. It's not a dogfish. No way, Jose. No way. This is a stiff rod. Tarpon 240 on this kitty. Mike has anyway. Come on. Where the hell is he? He's playing deep. He's trying to trick me. Oh yeah, bigger hound. It might come off. Let's go round these rods without dropping everything. He's coming in ass backwards. I do not care. Watch out with smoothhounds because they can go nuts at the last moment. He is wrapped up so much. I feel he's coming in like a parcel. If I get him in. I haven't got him in yet. He's going nuts. Man, they're a good sport fish, aren't they? Good job I didn't get this one in a big tide on the light rod. I wonder if he's taken the big squid, the stinger. My money's on the stinger hook. Now, if you use a stinger hook, make sure you're careful. He's actually got the other hook wrapped around him as well. Come on. They're notorious for bolting off at the last moment and smacking you around the head with the lead. So I'm going to ease him, hold the trace. He's untangled. He is. Welcome aboard, sir. Oh yes. Monsieur Le Stinger rig works again. Man, I should have used this. Why has it taken me 50 years of sea fishing to think of trying a stinger rig in the UK? Well. Nice smooth hound this time. And he's just nicked there. He is just nicked there. I think you guys even get to see the bite. Oh no, he wasn't coming off easily. Oh, come my beauty. There you go, guys. Better size smooth hound, but you know what? Of course I've had bigger ones than this, but it's on a stinger rig. The last 3 fish have actually come on the stinger rig, so I'm going to be using that again. I might put a fresh big bait on, that way there's, I heard a click then. That way there's some fresh smell down there for him. Let's get this guy back. There we go. Put his head into the current. And there he goes, back down to the bottom. Well, is that a result? You actually saw the take, I think, on camera. I was messing around with the camera on a pole and just saw the broken rod buckle over. What a fight in this tide. On small hooks. Look at this guy. A nice big thornback ray on a broken top of a carp rod and a tiny freshwater hook and a tiny bait. In fairness, I've got those big baits down and they're not doing anything. The action seems to be all on the small baits. Hooks out. That's not a bad old fish, guys. That is not a bad old fish. Probably not got much light on it there. Let me give you a good angle on it. In fact, let's get you. There's the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Read it and enjoy. That is a cracker fish. Crackerjack fish. Thornbacks, when you pick them up, there's a little thumb hole there. Do not put your fingers in their jaws. They have no teeth, but they have crushing molars. If you put your finger in, it will come out as a pink marshmallow. There we go. Let's get this one back. Away he goes. He goes spiral upside down and then he turn up the right way. Watch him. He's up the right way. Brilliant. There's still a little bit of tide left. Few boats are moving. I've always liked the dying flow of a tide, just that last 20 minutes, half hour. Oh my God, as I'm talking, I'm going to give that one a little bit of a slack line. Let's get myself sorted out, because I've got a bit of a cluster. I had to move my big giant bait from this rod to different holders. I feel knit one, pearl one. The uptide rod goes there. The shark come tote rod goes there. And there was a definite tug on that one. And these two got my stingers on. I barely got enough time to go sunbathing. God, what a day. We also need to be aware of shipping out here, and you can see this one sneaked up on me. He's outside the channel markers where he's supposed to go through them, and he's not a million miles off of my bow. Now the problem being, my anchor rope stretches nowhere near back as far as him, so I'm safe. But if I had a long anchor rope out and he picked it up, he's going to drag me over into his propellers and underneath the boat. So even with this camera, you can see it's called something or other Galaxy. Tran Galaxy, I think it is. But the channel markers, I'll point to them, are over there. He's well outside them. And that's supposed to be, I think, their designated route inside the markers, but not everybody uses it. Also looks as though he is not laden there. I can see the plimsolls lying well out of the water, I believe. So he's running empty, I guess. Now if they're on autopilot, which one hopes they're not, you can imagine the nervousness which you have in a small boat anchored, and I'm not in the shipping lanes, I'm sort of near them. So be aware if you're out in a small boat, these guys don't have brakes and they can sneak up on you really quickly. If they had some extra squid bait, they're so close they could probably throw it to me. People, someone's just slammed my up tide. I'm trying to get rigged up. I hope he doesn't come off. I haven't gone near the rod yet. It's this big one here. There he is, there he is. I think he's still there. It's a biggish bait. I changed the biggest bait. There, look. There he goes, Is he going to go again? Lift it out slowly. Do the drag up, Graeme.
This is on Coast Guard.
What is it with the radios and every time I get a fish on? Oh, this is a lump. Oh my God. My word, this one is a lump. Oh yes, sir.
Sister, this is on Coast Guard. The position is as follows. 50.656 minutes north. 001 degrees. 10.64.
I wish I could assist, but unfortunately I am suitably indisposed with a good fish on. Oh, this is why we come sea fishing, guys. Bending the rod. Look at those fine weather cumulus clouds there. Someone.
Oh, that's
I've had it with you, dearie. It's a woman's voice, I guess, I don't know. Sorry, love. Oh, that's so much better. Peace. As I was saying, beautiful cumulus clouds, fine weather clouds there. A portent of good days to come, one hopes. Of course, there will be a weather buff out there ready to hit the keyboards and tell me they're actually autocumulus or stratonimbocumulus, whatever. I know they're good weather clouds anyway. Beautiful setting all the way round. They're just heat clouds that build up over the land, because if you look back here, there's the Isle of Wight, there's Ventnor, Dunno's Head over there, Thresher City way beyond there, towards the coast of France. Oh, I want to see what this fish is. Got to be a ray. It's a ray of sunshine. Well, two big thornbacks, eh? Cannot grumble, guys. Cannot grumble. It's just about to move. I was thinking dead tide, there's a little bit of flow in it. That takes the smell off the bait. Just ease them in slow. Always watch the tip of the rods doing this, guys. When you're on your own, 9 foot rod in a 7 foot wide boat or 6 foot wide boat. Here he comes. He might fall off, I don't care. He's caught fish. Watch those spikes, buddy. There he comes. He's quivering and shaking and shivering. Let's see if we can get that hook out and we get him back. Look at that, boys. Look at that in the sunshine. Good lump too, they weigh heavy, these rays. There is the fish. Oh, that's a nice lump, that one. See how they curl their wings, they arch their wings up. Of course down here there's thorns all the way along there. All the way at the back. That's a male fish, you can see the claspers there. I don't want to let him wrap his tail around me with those barbs there, you can see all the way along. Just lean over the side and let him go. Away you go, bud. Beautiful. That up tide rod's done pretty well for me today. It's a bonus, you see, throwing it across here. Tide's flowing now. What do? Do I move? Come on, guys. Where's Smith? He should tell me what to do. Nobody tells me to lose fish. I'm going to give it a little while longer, and then I think I'm going to go inshore and see if I can't finish off. Maybe use this down here. Use my bait dropper and see if we can't get a few different species, maybe some black bream. Here we go. Half of squid, cut in half. Look, I'll show you. From there, bosh, 2 baits. Should find my rags somewhere here. Always go to a charity shop, get a load of old towels they generally give you for nothing. It's in their rags bin. Cut them into quadrants, and you've got hand wipe rags that you don't have to wash. I think I'll get one more cast out of this before the tide might be too much. You can see how I've just hung it like that, just on one of the spikes of the weight. We're going to go across here, the tide, you can see by the bubbles, it's like a river. I'll probably only be able to cast one more time out here. Here we go, heave ho. And I'm going to stop it, it's off, ready, there. I stopped it, so the lead stops here, and by stopping the lead, I flick the bait farther past it so it doesn't tangle. Say, standard procedure for waggler float fishing when you're coarse fishing, and it works for this. I've just always done it all my life, just casting, stops tangling. Now it's hit the bottom, but I'm not tightening up that. I want to slack some line off, let the tide pull on that line, and that will help pull those grip leads in. That is actually the theory of uptiding. A little bit of less drag in case something does horrendously large gets hold of it. That's about right. And then tidy up the kitchen, wipe down the seat, check the baits, and back to sunbathing. Fish on, guys. He's up there. He's just stripped a load of line out. Unless he's off, he's changed direction. I've got to be careful. He hits the other lines. If he hits the other lines, I've got problems. Now, there he goes. Oh, there's pressure in there. I've got some pressure on him, guys. That drag a bit more. I've no idea what it... Oh, Jesus. I check that drag. It's not a bad fish. Oh, he goes again. What is this fish? What is this fish? That's... Oh, that's a good pull. That is a good bend and a good pull in the rod. Jeez. Probably going to run out of battery on the camera. I've already done one battery. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to switch this off till I get it close. Well, stinger rig rules. Here we go, guys. Target species achieved. Look at this. It is, yes, a black bream. Man alive, I've got to start using a stinger rig. It's only taken me 50 years to decide to use it in the UK. Standard rig abroad sometimes. Well, I wouldn't say standard, it's fairly specialist. It's just a different way of fishing. And my goodness me, it can be very successful. And look at that bream. Is that not a crackerjack fish? Now, if we could catch one of those, about 3 pounds, that would be great. Beginners, if you grab hold of these, do not just go, because it's full of spikes. Come down from this end, I hold it around the gill covers, I unhook it, I admire it, spines all on here, and return it. C'est voila. God, like what, about 3 pounds. That rig is a killer. Gonna leave that big lead on there because the tide's sort of picking up as it goes. I don't want to get tangled because basically you have your big leads closest to the boat and your lighter leads farther away from the boat. That applies to charter fishing and small boat dinghy fishing like we are. We are? Who's the we, Graeme? Talking to himself again. If you have your light rods here and your heavy rods there, the light rods will get picked up by the tide and Tangle City will approach you very quickly. I think I'm going to check that guy there. Just make sure he's got bait on the stinger. Well, it's gone very quiet now. I haven't had a take for about half an hour, even the small fish. I think I'm going to take a gamble, one final throw of the dice and try and catch something. I'm going to go inshore and I'm going to chop up a load of that rubbish stuff I cut out of my freezer because the tide's definitely ebbing now and the wind's turned round. It might just switch some on inshore. Another boat came past and stopped and had a chat with me and he just said, you know, they had fish offshore but a lot of weed out there as well, and the rays and stuff which they wanted seemed to be inshore. And I had a big smooth hound, which I don't think I've filmed, I'm not sure whether I think I've done it so many times before, I pressed off instead of on. But I had one good big smooth hound, so if it came out, it came out. If it didn't, you have to take my word for it. I think I'm going to wind in, make that move, have a run inshore, see what I can find out. I've got a few more marks in my GPS, might be worth a look at. Well, I moved about, I suppose about a mile or so east to another mark. Still in that deeper water, one dogfish. The breeze has picked up, it's gone round southeasterly. Look, it's beautiful, beautiful. It's not just glassy calm, in fact it's quite pleasant. A little bit of coolness to it. I've come right close inshore now, a lot shallower, found a little bit of rough ground, and I thought I'll try the stinger rig here and see if we can't get you guys black bream. I've had bangs on these already, so now I feel it's time to bring out the big gun down here. I've dropped the light rod down here and I've just been hammered. I'm going to leave that one down there. It's on light drag. Somebody watch that out the corner of their eye for me. So I just had a hammering bite on it. So let me think what I need. I need some corline, which is here on a hand winder. I made it out of plywood. See a grip as well. Quite artistic actually. And then a piece of wood. I definitely got hammered straight away on these big baits. There's definitely bream here, and I feel if I can get a bit of ground bait in the water with this gentle tide here, I'll be okay. So here's the deal, guys. Did you see that? Just watch it. Look. They definitely I've had bream right. They might be small bream, obviously. Black bream or black bream, great fighting fish. So, yes, there's a fish. Look, 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 look. Oh God, I've got a tangle as well. Oh, there we go. I don't even need the chum tube. I don't need the ground bait dropper. Good God, there's anglers and danglers. This is, I'll tell you what, I've got to get up for this one. This is a good black bream. It's really ripping me around. My God, don't say it's going to be a great finish of the day. Look at the bend in this rod. This is where the black bream are great fighters. Mike wants one for his catch and cook. This is not a bad fish, man. This is not a bad fish. God, I haven't even got the ground bait down yet. Let's check it out, check it out. Oh, what? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to swing, net it, Graeme, net it. No, 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 the naughty one says swing it. Look at that bream, boys. Been here about 3.5 minutes and it's a clonker. Hopefully you can see this here. Look at the colours in the top there. I'm hoping you can see this, iridescent colours. Right, down we go again. I still feel the ground bait might hold them if I can get that feed down there. That was a nice bream, holy cow, not a bad day's fishing, people. And I'm going to stay, everybody else looks like they've gone home, the bulk of them. I'm so stuck with the tide getting in, I might just as well stay out here. Close bail on, check drag. Man, that's a nice bream. Right, keep an eye on it for me, people. I'm just going to tie the end of my corline on here. Oh no, I just saw it out the corner of my eye. I'm going to do it like this so I can see the bite at the same time. Oh God, it's terrible, isn't it? It's really bad once you start fishing. Once you get those bites, especially from bream. Sometimes you can induce a tape. They get aggressive. I could even go to a lot. There's one on that stinger rig over there too. Oh, see it banging? The big rod, look, 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 look. Oh, get! I'm never going to get this ground bait tube bait droppered. Come on, boy. Let's have another nice one. Oh, look at him dig. I don't think he's as big as the first one. He's a tad small, but what a spanker. Oh, look at this, my word. I've got to get some baiting fast. Got to get some baiting fast. I missed another one. God, stop it, Graeme, stop it. Constrain the job in hand, man. Right, first, the one that's going to... First one going through the mill is this pouting. Just going to cut it all up small. It's important to get it quite small because if you don't have a big piece like this, the bream will follow this off as it drifts away on the tide. So we'll save that one, I'll throw it over later. Mr. Bluey can go. Cut it all up like this. Watch your fingers. Don't worry, I've got quite a bit of bait to go in. So, here we go, people. Please, no weed. So pleased with that. Put it all in, all the rubbish goes in. Now you've got to do this so it does not tangle. Needs to be kept tight like this. Just lower it over the side, don't bang it because it will open. And when it's on the bottom, just give it a pump like this and all the bits will come out. A lot of fish will come in on this. Now I've got to get chopping up again. Let's check those rods. The other thing I've been meaning to do is, bites on the big one, mix up a bit of ground bait and mix this mush with it. And I'm going to put it inside a freshwater swim feeder. Look, they're banging away on that stinger. I haven't hooked up on that one yet. Let's just let this soak up. So this is just regular coarse pellets. I suppose you could use bread. Rice is very good for them apparently. But I'm going to put all this mush in here like this. And I'm going to try that with a regular swim feeder, which I'll show you in a minute. It's a bit like the shervy that they use off the shore when they're fishing in the Channel Islands. In fact, look, you can use it anywhere. Don't have to be in the Channel Islands. This should, and this way, if it's been a swim feeder, it should stay in there. I mean, when I put the bait dropper down, the current will tend to wash it away. When you do this, make sure that you're aware there are bones in fish. Don't get them in your hand. Don't waste anything like this. Get it in the water, especially when you're shark fishing. I can put some in the big bait dropper here, like this. I've cut them all up. I don't want it literally too big, because they'll just go off down-tied munching on one piece of carcass. I want to keep it like this, nice and tight. Down we go. Hopefully you're seeing all this, guys. Other boats all seem to be moving. Is it something they know that I don't? I think I've got a good hour and a half here. Hopefully I've got enough. I'm on the bottom then, I think. Still a good bit of tide. And then just jerk it like this, it opens up. Let's all the ground bait come out. We'll see if it's gone when I bring it back up. See if we can pick a few more bream off. On a tough day, really. I've done okay, but there you go. The flap's been opened. And as you can see, all the ground bait's gone. That can go in there for a minute. And then I'm going to rig up a swim feeder on one of these. So here's the rig, guys. It's a swim feeder, heavy one from the River Wye. It's one of Woody's tackle shop. One's really solid, really heavy for the River Wye, which is a big river. A little boom with a clip on it so it runs up and down. A very small piece of squid and a very small piece of squid. They're on about a size 4 freshwater hook. And I'm just going to ram all this stuff in. I'll tell you what, Woody will never want these swim feeders back, will he? By the time I finish ramming all this stuff in there. And these are coarse fish pellets, which take a little while to soak up. But that's nice and gluey. Don't want it to come out too quick. And I'm just going to lower that down. Don't do this very often. Obviously, I've experimented with most things over the years. You can see tiny little particles coming off there. If I can rig one on the other rod as well, not only are those small hooks fishing, but there's a constant flow of particles at the same level, the same face level that the bream are feeding at. I'm letting it down very steadily. I might even change these uptiders over and put small hooks on them as well. There we go, I'm on the bottom. Different type of swim feeder. All the lead weight is at the base there, so that should sit nicely. I'm cramming it full of all my mushed up bits and bobs. Freezer clear out. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want me making the sandwiches, would you, tonight? No. In fact, I'll probably stay out so late I won't have any sandwiches. Let's lower this one down. Oh, not a great big piece of weed. Please go away and leave me. Leave me in peace. I only want to fish. Oh, not asking for much, is it? No, it's got that one, you see. Now, see, that's sunk down there. That's going to slide right down the line, stop me fishing, swing the lead off the bottom. The bait comes off the bottom, I catch nothing. I'm just hoping that this tide washes some of this away. And if you throw it in loose, you can see it going down there, look. Ball of ground bait. If you're in shallow water, you can ball it up tight and drop it down as you would do in fresh water. Whoa! I think this one's a bream, guys. This one really did. I just saw the line coming up here. I've put leader leads. Oh! Leader leads and smaller hooks on. Trying to pick up the bream, but the seal has been a real pain since I've had that seal in the swim, and this is a beaut. This is a beaut. Look at this one. Look at this one. I should be netting this fish actually, but we'll take a gamble. OMG, peeps. Look at that bream. That is a beauty. Another tip, if you don't have swim feeders, you've got your lead weight there, and provided you can make a sticky, claggy enough mixture. I've done this again, coarse fishing, freshwater fishing. You should be able to mould a ball of fishy ground bait right around the lead. Now listen, this isn't for the squeamish. I'm a shark fisherman. It bothers me not one jot doing all this mushy stuff, because I know it's what catches fish. Now there is a ball of ground bait, and just behind it slides down. It's a washing line of my hooks. Let's get it in the water. There's so many tips in this. I think I won't be able to sleep tonight. I feel drained. Now this one I let down quite quickly because I want that ground bait. You can see all particles coming off it there anyway. I want to get it down as fast as I can, but without spinning, obviously. Again, don't want it spinning. Don't want any tangles. Nothing on those big squid baits. Bizarre. But I'm starting to, I put a whole squid on there and I'm starting to get a few bites now. I think it's that seal's killing it, man, big time. As seals do. He's still there, look. He's right by me. Bloody thing. They're about as useful as otters. Go on. Got one on the swim feeder. Oh, I love it. I love it. Don't know how big he is, but he's going pretty well. He might have my other line. Oh, he's got the other line as well. This should be fun. This should be great fun, people. But listen, there's a swim feeder. Oh, I think he's come off. That was lucky. There we go. Black bream. Hopefully you can see it. Here, people, is a swim feeder. And here is a black bream. As you can see, the two together go hand in hand. Well, fin in fin. I hate to say I told you so, guys, but here comes one on, that's right, a chunky great bream. And OMG, it's on the stinger rig. Look how he's come up the back of that squid and he's taken the loose piece behind it. I've caught so many fish on this today, it's ridiculous. That is one good experiment when you start catching fish like this here. Really nice bream, and just a little hook, stinger hook, on 15-pound line, maybe 20-pound line at the back of the big bait. And because a big fish can still take the big bait. That's brilliant. Mould it round the lead. Nice and tight, because the current's going to wash it. Break it up, and the small fish attacking will also wash it all the particles free. Probably best to rinse one's hands before lowering it down, otherwise you're going to get salt water and gunk all over your reel, as if that worries me. Right, down we go again. What an evening, oh my word. Smooth hounds, thornback rays, loads of doggies, nice lot of black bream, sun shining, and hopefully I can get the boat out of the water at low tide. Otherwise it was all going to go pear-shaped. One of the advantages of fishing on one's own is peace, tranquility, the world is your oyster, but not so much fun when you come to launch and retrieve and trail the boat on your own. So, when you've got your big giant bream like this one, Here, I'll show you, are the spines. Now fish like snappers have got the same spines, so anybody around the world is and rough scaled fish like this, they want cleaning. So I'm going to put this in the water, give it a wash off first, just like this. Gets a bit of the slime off it. I've got it on my bait board, a sharp filleted knife. Ouch, there's the spines everywhere. And just start a nick just here. And what I like to do is just put the fish's head in the corner so you're cutting away from yourself. And it's tough between these two fins there. Just cut those out like this. Now you can bake these, fry them, there's a variety of ways, and apparently baking is the way. So when you open it up, just put your hand in there. They have quite a small body cavity. You can rip out the main digestive tract, go right in and pull as much as you can out here. Now be very careful with the knife sharp. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to nick, I'm going to call it a gullet. All this stuff is good chum. This is good ground bait for other fish. Do not waste it, I am still fishing. So you can take the gills out if you want. Now just here you'll see that sack. You want to pop that sack there, like this. And then just basically bleed that fish. Now my tip is you do not want to put it in the water and drop it. It's a good eating fish, this one. So go in through the gills like this. This is just my way of doing it. Look, I dare say there's some black bream expert ready to hit the keyboard. I go in through there so I got it locked in my fingers so I'm not getting spiked. In with water, and then you can look, you can just wash all those backbone blood particles out. Now the other thing you got to do when you get home, you can do it, I could do it now, I'm not going to. The tide's just died and I probably want to get back. This is full of scales, so you're going to scale this fish, but I'm going to do it after I've frozen it, because I found when they've been frozen and thawed out, they're easier to scale. So you don't want to cook it really with all the scales on and get it in somebody's food. There, if I show you, are all the spikes, just there. So you're going to scrape these off. Let's get this one in the cooler with his pal, which is even bigger over here. He's been all cleaned out. Get them in the cooler, and then I can get them back, get them in the fridge or freezer. Keep them in the top there. A little bit of bait left, not much. There's not much coolness left in there. That's a nice fish. That's a nice eater. A couple of nice fish in there for eating. One for the camp, cooking camp, catch and cook, or whatever you call it, Mike calls it. And the other one for wifey and me. Well, people, I've burned out the chum, washed all the boat down. I've had even more black bream. I can't film them all. Dogfish. I've had a really good day, actually. It's turned out a really good day. And just look at it, people. All the other boats are gone. There's two still fishing up there for black bream, way up there. They're going to be private boats. Nobody else is going to be out here. But this is what it's all about with a small boat on your own. When it's good, it's absolutely idyllic out here when you've got fish as well. I've had a great day. Look, I'd have had a quiet day if it wasn't for you guys there. I mean, look, I've got nobody else to talk to on the boat, have I? I'm here on my own, can you imagine? People would think, do you know what? He's talking to himself all the time. Oh, just pan round this way. So I believe I had a bang on that rod there. And that is the last cast. There is no more bait. There it goes. It's banging. It's stuck in the bottom and there's a fish on, I think. Maybe the fish will kick it out. So thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show, which is there. Don't forget to watch Mike's TAOUTDOORS, which is going nuts on numbers. Check it out. All these are free to watch. We fund them ourselves. And hopefully we'll see you again. I've had an epic day today, really, giving all tips away and stuff like that. Won't be able to catch anything myself now. We'll see you next time on the boat, the bank, the river, the sea, the beach, wherever I can get. To be honest, you know me. If there's water, I'll have a rod, except the bath. See you soon. Well guys, there's only one last thing to do. After you've had a great day's fishing in a Wilson flyer, 17 foot long, and it's flat calm, And that, as all boys know, is put the hammer down. Yee-haw! You're never too old to burn some gas. You're never too old to make some gas. Look, Mum, no hands. Don't listen to Mr. Pullen, he's mad.